today I'm doing another collab video with Irit Landgraf, and since so many of you have enjoyed the collab we did a few months ago with the floral illustrations, I decided to reach out to Irit and ask her if she was interested in doing some sort of, you know, Inktober kind of related video. I am definitely not participating in the daily Inktober videos simply because it's been a very busy September month and now into October, so I had initially some ideas, but it's just not going to happen. And I have two kind of big projects running on the side which sort of, you know, coming to light soon. And so one of them is obviously my watercolor release, which is hopefully happening next week, and the other one I'm going to start working on like straight after, so can't tell you yet what it is, but there you go. So for the Inktober, I thought we're going to illustrate some faces. So there wasn't any sort of strict rules. All I said, let's just use watercolors and inks. It could be watercolor related products as well, and I have set up here a little a few things that I want to use today. I've got this page open, but it's not going to be within this style. I'm thinking of creating something like more on an abstract kind of sketchy, playful way rather than too detailed. That's my kind of intention, but what will happen or come out, it's sometimes quite unpredictable, so let's see. So I'm definitely going to use watercolors from my autumn palette. If you haven't seen me swatching this palette, then there's going to be a link up here, a little card for you to click on. And I am predominantly thinking of two colors to use today, but I may want to add on as I go. But here's the Lunar Earth with the Viridian, so I'm kind of thinking of mixing up skin tones with them too. Lunar Earth is super granulating, a very interesting color, and I think it would do nicely in this in this illustration today. The other things I have lined up here are the Ecoline. I've got three colors. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all three. Might just use one or two. This is the pink beige, yellow ochre and deep ochre, and I'll show you what they look like on a swatch. Hopefully they are here. They should be here anyway. So here's the pink beige and deep ochre, and then this is the, hold on, that's deep ochre as well. So here again, pink beige and deep ochre, and then the other one, no, that's not it. Here we go, yellow ochre. So I might use it sort of in an abstract way, I will see, because they're quite sort of bright and intense. And then I have got the Sepia ArtGraf, which is right here, this color, and ink Diamine in Sepia as well. And the other thing I have here is a little bit of a white watercolor. This is titanium white, and it's by Winsor & Newton, but basically they're all the same really. The watercolors are very similar. So I might use it just to kind of milk things down or up, whichever way. And yeah, that's it. So let's crack on. I don't really have anything specific in my mind. I know I want to have a bit of a easy sort of, you know how my usual face illustrations are quite sort of delicate in the sense of I like things to be lined out perfectly and then work on them. This today is going to be quite a like a more relaxed approach to face illustrations. And actually, do you know what? I want to be inspired by this latest fashion illustration I did in my journal, so I might just put it out somewhere near me. And I don't want to duplicate it, but I do want to have it as an inspo. Now there's absolutely no way for me to put this sketchbook anywhere on my desk, so I'm just going to open a drawer and balance it on there. So dip pen, this is quite cost effective, very affordable, but stunning looking glass dip pen, so I love using this one. All you do is just dip your pen in there. You can see ink is sitting beautifully in the ridges, and then you can just start painting really. So let's see, I'm going to hold the pen back quite far and try to just create a face structure or shape rather. And I did mention that I wanted it to be quite sort of sketchy and maybe abstract. And sometimes you can put quite a bit here, which means you're going to get this sort of effect, which I think looks lovely with this pen. And I'm just going to create broken up lines. Something I have realized fairly recently is that quite often I feel this pressure of a finished line or a finished something, and you know, like, it doesn't have to be that. It can be finished like in your own mind. You can make the viewer look at your piece and they can finish it off in their own sort of way. I'm going to grab a bit of water. I'm not very good at talking and painting or creating at the same time, so I'm just going to pull out a bit of this ink. This is why I love Diamine ink. It's water soluble and it's just gorgeous. And you can use it in many ways as a watercolor. So here is a suggestion of a neck. So the line is sort of abrupt, but then I kind of, you know, concentrated more on this side, which means I also want to concentrate on the darker side. So the darker side is going to be the left of my illustration, and then the light source will be coming from the opposite. So everything needs to be fairly dark on this side for me. So at this point I'm just mapping out a little bit of a like facial features, and so far she's looking terrifying. But we'll get there, don't you worry. So if you blob too much, you can help yourself by using a brush like I did before. I quite like having these little blobs here though on this side of the face. Now I'm using the Mixed Media journal. This is the Strathmore, absolutely in love with it. and it's so gorgeous for mixed media. Like anything I have tried on it just works beautifully. Right, before this ink sits too long, I'm going to just create a bit of drama here. And at this point, I'm not worried. I think when you start feeling a bit of fear in your illustration, that's when it's starting to hold you back. So I'm just going for it. And that's it for the ink, I think. For the ink portion, we don't need any more. I am going to now go into my watercolor and try to establish where my Lunar is the second color. Still need to do that swatch card. So I'm just going to, let's see if you can see it. Isn't this a beautiful color, this? It's such a gorgeous kind of burnt, almost more of a like sienna type of color. Right, so I want to introduce an element of watercolor, perhaps with sort of brush marks that are not too considered or too thought of. So I just want to create a bit of darkness under the eye here and around the eye. So the granulation is quite beautiful here already. And I'm thinking I quite like this mix, so I'm going to add that to this color above. And you can see the ink is now starting to flow into there a little and just becomes beautiful. So the nose, I'm going to touch that into the ink and let the ink flow into there. So we're starting to get some sort of character, and look at this beautiful granulation we're getting here. Okay, so next thing, I think I want to mix up something rather dark, and I like the granulation, so I'm going to go into the grey and just add a little bit of something right under the chin to create a sense of, look at that beautiful way that this is Sodalite genuine. It's just kind of moving into the ink. So I'm just creating shadow, a little bit stronger shadow than I had before. Like that. So in quite a playful way, I'm constructing these facial features, and I want the ink lines to be still there. So I think at this point I'm going to think of, let's see, I want to add a lip color, which I think I'm going to go for the Napthamide Maroon. And just go straight in like that. It would work beautifully with the concoction of the colors that we already have. And look, that has gone inside there as well now. So again, thinking of unfinished lines and things. A little bit of it, I wonder, maybe if I mix it up with the grey actually. If I just add a tiny little bit on the cheek, like that, see what happens there. And at one point I'll have to stop. I just noticed there's a nice blob there, which I think I want to repeat a little. There we go. And I'll have to stop because I will need to work with layers. And to achieve that, I need to let these colors dry first. I think I'm quite happy with what is happening here. the chemistry between watercolors and the ink are very beautiful, and I can see now that once it dries I want to build up on the lip, and then I can concentrate on the eyes as well, and then one of the Ecolines can come in. Now I haven't thought of how to use these yet, whether I want to introduce it now or later. Actually, while things are wet, let's see if I can do a little bit of fun here. Maybe I'll just wet the corner as well. See what happens. Just a little bit of like layering. I think that should be enough, to be honest. And then I'm going to use my brush. And just in a way softening the line a little and making it blend in. So I might just kind of connect a bit of this to avoid the too straight line look. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so that's enough for me. This needs now to dry a little.